Today's video, we're gonna be talking about shoes and boots, but not just about shoes and boots. More to the point, we're gonna be talking about repairs and storage. Now, I do have an ulterior motive to why I am filming this particular video. I am in the process of packing up my apartment here in Belize to move back to the States. So I do need to pack up my entire shoe collection. I want to show you guys how to store, repair, and anything else having to do with shoe maintenance is what we're gonna be talking about today. So grab a snack and let's get right into it. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Adrienne Keyser and I'm your over 50s fashion diva. Here on my channel we talk about fashion, of course, but also beauty, lifestyle, travel, and anything trending in social media on any of those topics. So if you want to stay relevant over 50, you've come to the right place. Now before I get started, I would like to apologize for my appearance. I am in the process of packing my apartment, so I didn't put on like a full-on outfit and makeup for today's video, so I do apologize. Now I'm gonna be inserting some video of my shoe collection that I had shipped here to Belize from the United States when we moved here 2 years ago. And yeah, this is my shoe collection. As a matter of fact, the other day, my son said, "Mom, I had no idea you had so many shoes." And I was like, I do have a lot of shoes, and that is with a reason. I have been collecting shoes, hats, purses, boots, everything since becoming a fashion stylist over 20 years ago. And a lot of the shoes that I have had in my collection for many, many years, if not decades. And the reason is because I know how to take care of my shoes. And that is what I'm gonna be talking about today. We're gonna be talking about shoes that I've had over 20 years, shoes that I've had for 5 years, shoes that I've just recently gotten in my collection. We're gonna be covering the gamut, but I want you to pay attention to the shoes that I have that are much older so that you can see how I take care of them, so that you also, any of your favorite shoes, you'll be able to keep in your collection for as long as I have. I'm going to first start off with boots, and there is a reason for that, and that's because moving from the tropics of Belize back to the US, we're gonna be moving to the East Coast, and it's gonna be dead winter by the time we get there. It's gonna be middle of January, so I need to make sure that I pull out any shoes and boots that I know I'm going to be packing in my suitcase, because everything else is going to be shipped over, and that could take weeks, if not a month, for me to get all of my shoes. So I need to pull out what I'm gonna be wearing over the next 6 weeks that I'm still living in Belize, but also for the month or so once I moved back to the States. The main reason that I had all of my shoes shipped here to Belize was mostly for content purposes. I knew the majority of these shoes I would not be able to wear here because it is so hot. We didn't know how long we were gonna be living here before we moved back to the States, so I just shipped pretty much all of my shoes. I do have some winter boots and shoes back in Maryland, stored at my dad's house, but yeah, I did ship a good portion of my shoe collection here to Belize. So, all right, let's get into it. Now, I am fortunate that I've got 3 pairs of hunter boots: the black, the green, the like the olive green, and a pair of red. Now, I have been storing them in a closet and they are super dusty. I do occasionally pull out my hunter boots when we are in raining season, which we're at the tail end of, because we do get a lot of flooding here. These don't need very much in the way of maintenance, because if you check my channel, and I do hope that you will subscribe to the channel, but if you check my channel, one of the very first live videos that I ever filmed was all about shoe repair. And so I did go through and do a good weather repair on these particular boots. So I'm not going to do that again. If you want to see how to clean and weatherize your hunter boots, definitely check out that video. I will leave a link in the description box for it. But these, for the moment, they just need a little bit of dusting. And the reason that I'm not going to put all the weatherizing stuff on them is because I am getting ready to pack them in boxes to be shipped, and I don't want them to be still moist. Before I go any further with the shoe repairs, what I should really tell you about is what is in my shoe repair kit, because having the right items to repair your shoes, to keep them in great condition, is essential. And so I have a few different containers. First thing you should definitely have are lots of different little chamois cloths to just dust off your shoes. You know, if you're pulling them out of the closet, they're a little bit dusty. You should always have some little buffing cloths. These are by Kiwi, but I have lots of them. Another thing you want is a weather protecting spray. This one is also by Kiwi. This is the Kiwi Protect All leather and fabric footwear. So this is not for suede. So very important to know when you're buying a weatherproofing spray to know what it works on, because you don't want to put this on your suede if it doesn't say that it's specifically to weatherproof suede. So this one is not for suede, but you should definitely have one to weatherproof any of your other shoes. Another weatherproofing item that I have is specifically for my hunter boots. This is the Hunter Rubber Care Kit, and it has all of the items that you need in order to maintain and take care of your hunter boots. If you take care of your hunter boots, they will last you forever. They will last your lifetime as long as you take care of them. In the little kit comes a little shine cloth, which I could have used, but I had another one out. It comes with the rubber buffer to restore the finish of your boots. And it also comes with a little boot shine that you can kind of rub over your boots to kind of condition them. So if you have hunter boots, definitely get the rubber care kit. Very important. Also, for your hunter boots, or if you have any of those really heavy rubber rain boots, I always have a repair kit for those types of boots. This is by Gear Aid. This is the Aqua Seal plus FD Repair Adhesive plus Cure Accelerator, and it says it fixes holes fast. So if you've got really like a hole in your rubber boots, you definitely need to have a repair kit. So that is always in my little box. I also have this Kiwi Color Shine. This is a Premier Instant Polish in neutral. So if you ever just need to sort of do a quick little polish on your shoes, you know, it's got the little buffer on there. This was in neutral, so it goes with any of your shoes. Just double check before you go directly on your shoes to check the color. But they make these in all types of colors, in brown, in black, in white. I also have these little buffers. I don't even remember what they're for, but they're just like little spongy buffers. You need to get a really good buff on them. So that's in there. I also have, this is like an old nail brush, but I actually can use it on some of the like rougher suedes and things like that. If you don't have like an actual shoe brush, find something similar that you might have around your house. All right, that's in one box. That's in one of my shoe care boxes. Let's get on to the second one. Now in my second shoe repair box, I have this suede and fabric boot care kit. I actually purchased 2 of these from Amazon because I wasn't sure how many I would need. They actually end up being very small. They're only 4 ounces each. This is a boot and shine cleaner, and this is the suede and fabric water repellent. So again, make sure that whatever waterproofing spray you are using is for the right material for your shoes. This little kit also comes with a little brush in it, and that's what comes in the kit. And again, I bought 2 of them from Amazon. I also bought these Wayman leather conditioners for cars, furniture, shoes. Always have leather conditioner in your shoe kit. This one happens to be a spray. The spray is better if you're doing like boots or something like that. If you're doing like a large item like a leather jacket, a leather trench coat or something like that, and you need to condition your leather, that's what the spray is really good for, just because you can cover a wider area with the spray. But you can also get the leather lotions. So this is the Wayman's Leather Conditioning Cream. I do have a Kiwi Leather Express Shine and Go. This again, small enough for travel. You can put it in your purse if you're going to the office or something like that. It is a literal buffer that has conditioner in it. So if you just need a real quick shine on the go, because it says it Express Shine and Go. This one is, it says for all colors. So make sure that whatever color you're getting is gonna work for you. If you're doing something specifically, because they probably come in black, white, brown, neutral, all that kind of stuff, but this one says for all colors. So love that. This one is also by Kiwi. Kiwi is a big brand. If you didn't know about Kiwi, Kiwi is a huge shoe repair brand. So a lot of products that you get for shoe repairs is by the brand Kiwi. This one is Suede and Nubuck Cleaner. This one is actually a spray. You take off the top and you spray it, but then it also comes with a little kind of a comb on the top for you to comb the suede after you've sprayed it. Also a really good product to have on hand. This one is by Kiwi. This is a shoe polish, and this one is in black. So you can get shoe polish in colors if you need them. So it says that it's brown, but it looks black in the tin. So just again, test on something before you put it directly on your shoes, because the last thing you want is for this to say that it's brown, but in the tin it's actually black. So be very careful. Let's see, I have all kinds of stuff in here. This is like a polishing shoe mitt that I got at a hotel. Some more polishing things that I've picked up at hotels. This is a scuff cover by Kiwi. I haven't used this in years, but if you ever scuff up shoes, this is really good for that. It does really work well on scuffs on your shoes. This one just happens to be in the color white, but they do come in multiple different colors. So very important to have a scuff polisher in your kit, definitely. What's this one? Oh, shoe stretch. I actually need to use this on a pair of shoes that I'm gonna do. So shoe stretch, this is by Meltonian. This is really amazing. Now, this isn't gonna stretch your shoes like a whole full size or anything, but what it will do is if your shoes feel just a little bit tight, you can spray this inside your shoe and then you put the shoe on and wear it. and walk around in the shoe for I think like 15 or 20 minutes, and that will help stretch them just slightly. But always read the directions before you use something like that, because you don't want it to ruin the inside of your shoe. If it's like a leather or something like that, that's really important. Make sure that it will work inside of like a suede shoe, especially because you don't want to get, again, anything that doesn't go on suede, because that's it. It will ruin your shoes forever. And the last thing I just have like some little toothbrushes. I'm actually going to use this on a pair of shoes in a little bit, and you'll see why. But I just have some like old toothbrushes in here. And the last and most important thing you need is a suede eraser. It looks just like a little eraser, just like you have in school, but this is made specifically for suede. So if you get a little scuff on your suede shoe, you need a shoe eraser. Very, very important item to have in your shoe repair kit arsenal. All right, you guys, that's everything in the shoe repair kit. Let's finish up doing a couple of these shoes. All right, let's get back to boots. And what I realized is that I didn't show you my ultimate shoe brush. Again, by the brand Kiwi. But this is just a 100% horsehair brush that works fantastically on all shoes. On suede, on leather, anything that's just dusty. It's very, it's soft but still stiff at the same time. For example, I have this pair of wedge coach boots. They have a little bit of leather as well as suede on them. And since they've been stored in that closet, they are really, really dusty. So this is when you get your shoe brush out and just give them a good brushing all along the heel, everywhere. This will really get all the dust right off your boots. And another good thing to have is boot stuffers. Now you can get those on Amazon. I have not purchased any because I actually just use old plastic bags. Old plastic bags work just as well. I feel like these, like when you put bags in them, you can really form them into the shoe. Those boot things are just for this part of the boot, but it doesn't stuff this part of the boot. So when you put bags all the way in, you're still stuffing the toe of the boot, not just the toe part of the boot, not just the leg part of the boot. So that's why I prefer using plastic bags. Definitely figure out a way, if you've got boots, how you're going to stuff them, because that is extremely important, is to keep them stuffed, because it will help to maintain the shape of the boot. Right, now we're gonna talk about when you actually need to seek out a cobbler, because the repair is beyond what you can do at home. And I have this amazing pair of Isaac Mizrahi boots. I've had this pair of boots since the 90s, actually. So a very long time I've had these boots. I've been able to keep them in really good condition just by making sure that every year I go and add my leather conditioner to keep the leather soft and supple. These definitely need a little bit more TLC, but I'm afraid to do it again while I'm gonna be packing them into boxes. But as soon as I get these back home to the States, they are going to go to the cobbler, because as you can see, the entire bottom of the shoe is coming off. And that just needs a nice little glue to repair that. I've actually had the heels on these boots repaired before because the leather was coming off, and the cobbler that I had at the time wasn't that great, so I need to have the heel replaced as well. If you can see this little piece of leather that should go flat against the boot is curling up. So it also needs a little bit of repair. And these are a snakeskin boot. So you want to, again, make sure that you are giving them a nice leather conditioning every single season just to keep that skin nice and soft. And yes, this is an amazing pair of boots. Now, what's unique about these boots is that the snakeskin, albeit very similar in color, one of the snakeskins is darker than the other. That's what I love about exotics, is that they're always going to be unique. They're never going to be the same. Again, these are by Isaac Mizrahi. If you don't know, then you don't know fashion. Isaac Mizrahi was a huge designer in the 90s, and I purchased these boots. These you have to be careful with because the skin goes in a certain direction. So you want to go in the direction of the skin so that you're not flaking it off in any way. It's kind of going all over. So let's just do a light little shoe brush instead of actually buffing it, just to get the dust off of it. The shoe brush will do a better job so that it's not damaging the skins, because again, because it is scaly, you can damage it the more you kind of rub at it. So I'm just going to give them a light little dusting before I pack them away. That is what you would do if you see a repair that is beyond you. You know, go to a good cobbler. I'm sure you have one in your town, you just didn't know it. I have had the same cobbler for over 25 years. And moving here to Belize, I thought I'd be able to find a cobbler. No such luck in my city. I actually have to go all the way into Belize City if I want to find a cobbler here. So I just figured I'd wait till I get back to the States. And just so you can see what the shoe brush can do, this is another pair of Isaac Mizrahi boots that I've had since the 90s as well. Look at what great condition these are in. Okay, still in great condition. They're just super, super dusty. I've actually had these repaired because they are made out of like a really strong cotton. So I have had to have them repaired here before. So again, when you have a good cobbler on hand and maintain your shoes, they'll last you forever. So just so you can see how well the shoe brush can just dust your shoes. Just gets all the dust off of there. See that? Almost like new again, right? Just gonna give these a nice brushing. Don't forget the heel. Don't forget everywhere. Of course, I've had heel taps. And that's another good thing you should have in your kit. I don't know why I don't have any heel taps in my kit, but you can buy those anywhere. Target, Kmart, buy heel taps, because these are very easy to replace. Once they get down to that nail and you're walking and it's sounding really loud and metally, all you have to do is a pair of pliers and pull out the old one and literally just tap in the new one. If you have a hammer, you might need a hammer, but for the most part, you can just tap it on the ground and it will tap right into the shoe. So definitely have some heel taps in your arsenal, in your kit as well. All right, these are looking almost brand new. That's how good a good shoe brush will take care of your shoes. Now let's talk about shoe storage. If I were not packing these in boxes in order to be shipped back to the States, the way that I store all of my shoes and boots is in plastic containers. I purchased these boot boxes from the Container Store 1,000 years ago. I've had these boot boxes, I have shoe boxes, and I actually shipped all of them here to Belize, and we'll be shipping them all back because these things are expensive. If you know, you know. The Container Store, back in the day, I think each one of these boot boxes was like 20 bucks each, and then the shoe boxes were probably 8 bucks a piece. So I have cases of them, so you best believe I will be shipping them back to the States. But for my boots, obviously I store them in the plastic containers. I like the clear plastic containers because I can always see what shoes are in them. But for the boots, you kind of do them like that so that they are opposites each other. See what I'm saying? And always, most importantly, when you are storing your shoes, your boots, things like that, what I personally do is if I've worn a pair of shoes, I will let them air out for a full day, for a full 24 hours. Just leave them out in the open so that they can air out. And then I put them in their respective container, and then find those moist packs. You know, you get these little moisture packs in everything. And I keep them, I store them up so that each one of my shoes boxes has one of these in them. Just pop it in there, and that way, if there is any additional moisture in your shoes, that little moisture pack, that's what it's for. So that is the best way I know how to store all of my shoes. When I moved here to Belize, I had all of my shoes out in a shoe closet. I had them all out so that they were displayed. I personally prefer them in the boxes because then I don't have to dust them every time I wear them. You know what I mean? You can always dust them before you store them away so that they are ready to go for the next time. I hate having to dust all these shoes that I'm about to dust because here in Belize, I just didn't have the closet space to have all of them stored in their boxes. And not only that, but I needed the boxes for other things within my temporary apartment. But if you are going to store your shoes and boots, this is hands down the best way to store them. Now, if you don't want to spend that kind of money on shoe boxes for all of your shoes, you can always just use the box that they came in and store them exactly the way they came. I have this particular pair of boots. It is by Kendall and Kylie. I purchased them on Amazon years ago, at least 6 or 7 years ago. And I have maintained these boots in perfect condition because of the way that I store them. So this was the box they came in. Unfortunately, the box did get a little bit damaged when it was shipping over here to Belize. Then it has like a little cardboard on top of the boots. And the tissue is still in here. Now, these boots are in the bag they came in. All the stuffing still in the same way that they were when they came in. And the reason is because these boots are sequined from top to bottom. Little tiny sequin. So if you can imagine how damaged these boots would get if they were not stored properly. And also, they're not getting full of dust and all that stuff, because the more you rub this, the sequins will start to fall off. The manufacturers stored them in a particular way for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Now, this particular pair of boots comes with this long piece of tissue so that when you fold the boot over, none of the sequins rubs up against itself. So you want to store it back just like that. And then put it into the bag that it comes in. This box also has one of those moisture packs in it. And that's the way I store them, I store them right back the exact way that I purchased them. And that will definitely help you maintain the integrity of your boots. So I just make sure that they are in there properly, not folded in weird or rubbing up against itself. Very, very important. Again, this is the reason why I am able to maintain my shoes as long as I do. I take great care in every shoe that I purchase, whether it's, you know, a $5 pair of flip-flops or a $600 pair of boots. So again, if you don't have the money for expensive shoe boxes, just use the box that they came in. Another way to maintain the integrity of your shoes is to use the stuffing and all the materials that they use, again, to pack the shoes. This particular pair of shoes, I lost the boxes. These are Karl Lagerfeld, and they are suede with Swarovski crystals all on the heel. Now, these would be stored in a shoe box. This way I know that the strap isn't gonna get destroyed, that the shaft of the shoe, the front of the shoe will be stuffed and it won't collapse in on itself. You do have to be extremely careful in storing these shoes, especially because the Swarovski crystals on the heels go all the way to the inside of the heel. One way you could do that is I have these little plastic bags that I am going to be putting these in before I pack them away. This way it will maintain the integrity of the suede as well as the crystals. I have another pair of shoes that, again, all crystals, all Swarovski crystals. These are by INC Concepts. I still have the paper that was stuffed in the shoe originally, even the little tabby things that come in there. I put everything back in there that I can. So this way, these beautiful shoes, and I would put them inside of a little bag before I stored them together. This actually, oh, I see. This actually one of those things that also maintains the integrity of the shoe so that that stuffing stays all the way in there. Then I put it in a little bag before I store them away. That way, none of the crystals are being compromised. A pair of shoes like this, if I were, you know, for shipping purposes, I will be shipping them in the box because I don't want them to get banged around and rubbed around in the box during the shipping process. So this pair of shoes in particular, I'm going to be shipping in its own plastic box like this. Most of the shoes are gonna be loose in the box. I'm gonna be stacking them with layers of bubble wrap in between the layers of shoes as I put them in the box. Right now the boots are all in the box standing up. I didn't want them laying down because they are stuffed and I don't want to just crush them all in there. I'll be able to put other things in that boot box for the most part, but I just wanted to show you another good way to store your shoes if you don't have those expensive boxes, or if you have something like that has crystals all over it, or something that is very precious that you want to make sure that you maintain the integrity of the shoe. These little plastic bags I got from just buying things from Amazon. You know what I mean? Things that come in those little bags, I save them all the time. So, all right, on to the next. I told you guys I would tell you what it is I use these old toothbrushes for. And old toothbrushes are perfect for things like getting out sand in your shoe. These are a pair of Tevas I've had 1,000 years. These are waterproof, so you can put them in soap and water to clean them as well. But if you did have a pair of shoes that weren't able to do that, just use an old toothbrush and, you know, kind of dust it off. And I also wanted to show you some of my newer shoes that I just purchased from Amazon. And I am serious that I keep them in the boxes that they come in with all the wrapping. This is a pair of Cushionaire little flat sandals that remind me of the Hermes sandals. You can always take, again, the old grocery bags and stuff it in there. And then that way it won't crush that leather down and flatten them out. There's actually one of my favorite fashion influencers. I've seen the way that she stores her sandals and it made me crazy. I was like, honey, really? You can do better. You can do better. There's some old tissue paper, newsprint, whatever. If you are using newspaper, be very careful about the ink on newspaper. I should have said that earlier. These actually didn't come stuffed in there. I'm actually doing this because I probably won't be using these again until next summer. So best way to store them. I'm just going to rewrap them in the tissue and get them back in the box that they came in. That will also help. And I'm gonna be shipping these back in their boxes, just like this. Another one is the same thing if you have a sandal with a toe in it, same thing. Get yourself some old grocery bags or some old tissue paper and stuff it right into the toe there. And that will help maintain that leather up in there like that. So again, I could probably get another little bag in here to stuff here. Hang on. Another bag, or you can use bubble wrap, tissue, whatever, and stuff those into the shoe to maintain that strap so that it doesn't end up smushing down. It will help last forever. These are by Rockport, if you know Rockport, an amazing shoe company. And this is the way that these came. They're still in the box, the way that I got them. Even if it doesn't come with the stuffing, and stuff it. And just wrap it back in the box the way that it came. So that way it doesn't destroy the shoe. And that's it. Here's another pair. Kenneth Cole Reaction. Another pair of espadrilles. These have leather on the top. I promise you, if you just take that little extra step to find some tissue paper, find some old grocery bags, and stuff your shoe like that in the tips and everywhere that it is standing up, it will help your shoes last a lot longer. These also being espadrilles, to store them back with the tissue paper is going to maintain that rope along the espadrille of the shoe. They don't come with the little gel packs. Get some extra gel packs and put them in those boxes. The same thing if you have shoes that are like a thong shoe. Same thing, take your little plastic bag and just stuff them up in there. If you've got bubble wrap, whatever it is. I just think that stuffing your shoe is seriously important in the maintenance of your shoes. They will help last a lot longer. One more thing I want to make sure that I emphasize is before you put anything on any of your shoes, make sure you know the materials that they are made of. Very, very important. Whether it's real suede or faux suede, suede should be treated pretty much the same, whether it's real or not. Just take that extra precaution when you're weatherizing any faux suede shoe. Check like on a very small area just to make sure it's not going to destroy the shoe before you spray the entire shoe. And that's the same thing with any suede shoe. Before you spray anything on it, do a little test area before you spray the entire shoe. If you have a shoe that's a mixed medium like this one that has the crystals and the suede, you want to make sure that you cover this area before you spray the shoe. Otherwise, every time you go to spray and condition your shoe, you're going to get that spray into your crystals, and you don't want to do that. So if you have a way to get like a piece of plastic or something like that to put around the crystals before you start spraying them, like this would be a great way to do it. Just kind of hold on to the crystal area and then spray the shoe so that this is not being affected. So when you are maintaining your shoes, very important to know what they are made of. If it's real leather or faux leather, it doesn't matter. You treat it the same way. If it's a faux leather, then you want to make sure that you use a very small amount of the cream as opposed to a real leather, because a faux leather doesn't drink into the skins as a real leather would. But if they look like they're cracking or looking weird, use like the smallest amount of that leather lotion to just kind of keep them from cracking and peeling, because a lot of times faux leather will peel. Just like real leather, actually. If real leather gets dry enough, it will start to flake and peel. So the same thing with faux leather. If you do have a shoe, something like these that just are like this hollow glitter all over them, these actually were the shoes I wore to my wedding that I got at David's Bridal. So if it's got crystals on it like that, where's my shoe brush? You just want to very gently use your little shoe brush and just go over it really gently just to get the dust off of it. You know, you don't need to put any product on it or anything like that. I have several shoes that are like glitter shoes. Here's another pair. I bought these from Target over 20 years ago. And look at how well they are maintained. Even the heels have no scuffs or anything like that. And that's because, first of all, I'm very careful when I wear them, but also I take care of them. I give them a good dusting down. If they're looking a little bit scuffed up, I give them a nice little polish on the heel, that kind of thing. So just know with the shoe, and of course that glitter is getting all over the place, but at the same time, you just want to do that every once in a while if it's looking really dusty, because you don't want to just keep brushing all the glitter off of it. Again, know what your shoes are made of before you start caring for them. Very, very important. To be honest, I don't own a lot of sneakers, but I do maintain my sneakers every year as well. These are my Chuck Taylors. Now these need a real good cleaning. And normally what I would do is get some soap and water and my little toothbrush and really get the white really clean. Then I would, you know, on the canvas part, I would use my my shoe brush. Where'd it go? I would just use my shoe brush on the canvas area, and then once the shoelaces, these actually can be replaced. Once they get really frayed and old, just replace the shoelaces. Just that simple. These are a pair of Keds that I have. These are suede. Again, because they are pretty much stored in their containers, they don't get that dusty. But you know, you can, if you need to, give it a little dust off. I would use that little toothbrush again to get all the tread area nice and white. Use some soap and water. These are my all-time favorite sneakers. These are by a brand called Enda, and they are an African brand, and I love them because it is a black-owned brand, and I love supporting them. These things are hella dusty, so they really need the shoe brush. We'll get all that dust right off of there. And then again, soap and water with my toothbrush will keep these in great condition. I've had these shoes at least for 6 years, these sneakers, and they're still in amazing condition. So they get stored in their boxes, and I can't find my gel pack. I think it fell out, but with the gel pack, store them just like that. They'll last you forever. And I think that's it. So, oh, I got this pair of Nikes. Same thing. These things are really, really dirty. They need a good cleaning. These, you could actually put them in the washing machine on a cold cycle and then just let them air dry outside in the sun. Before you do that, of course, you want to take the laces out because you want to be able to pull the tongue up so that they can dry all the way down into the shoe. These definitely need some serious cleaning. So I will do that when I get back to the States. I'm gonna make sure that they're dusted down really well before I pack them up. But these are definitely need a trip to the washing machine. Will make a world of difference. Again, on a slow, cold cycle, just the tennis shoes by themselves. Don't put them in there with anything else. Or you can, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Just you wanna make sure that it's not anything delicate or precious that you're putting it in there with, because it's gonna get pretty dirty. Maybe some old towels or something like that. If you're doing a load of old towels, you can toss them in there. That would work perfectly. And that's it for the tennis shoes. Another fabric we should talk about when it comes to shoes is satin and silk. Very, very crucial. These pair of 9 West shoes, I actually have them in 2 colors, red and blue. I've had these shoes for more than 20 years. They are in incredible condition. As you can see, even the heel tabs are still in good condition. The bottoms are still in great condition. And that's because I take care of them. Now, when you're talking about a fabric like silk or satin, no water. Cannot get wet. Very crucial. Don't spray anything on them, nothing. The only thing that you need to do with silk and satin is dust it. That's it. I've got this little buffer cloth. I'm just gonna go in there and just dust it. That's it. That is it. If you want to do a deep cleaning on the shoe, like it got a stain on it or something like that, or you want to weatherproof it, take it to a cobbler. Don't do that yourself. You will destroy your shoes. And like I said, I've had these shoes over 20 something years, and it's because every season I take them out and just give them a dusting and put them right back in their box. Now, what I should be doing with these, because as you can see, this part here of the shoe is starting to flatten. So these shoes now should start getting stuffed so that they can come back up to their original shape. They're starting to flatten out, and that's just gonna maintain the integrity of the shoe. The same thing with satin. These are satin, but they also have suede in them as well. So these I actually will go in with the, oh, where's the brush? Oh, yeah, first I went in with the brush, if you didn't see that, sorry. Went in with the brush to make sure that the velvet, I mean, yeah, it is velvet, not suede, that the velvet part of the boots also get a good brushing. and then just go over it with the cloth. That's it. It looks like they are really, really dirty. Take them to a cobbler to clean. They have the special solutions and things like that to clean them without ruining them. But again, if you just take the time to clean them every season, you too can have shoes that look this good 25 years later, okay? These are another pair of shoes that I've had for nearly 30 years. They are suede, and I have them in two colors. A pair in burgundy and a pair in brown. They are extremely dusty, so I am going to go ahead and use my regular shoe brush to give it a good brushing. But as you know, suede has hair, so to speak, so they need a good brushing. This is when I would pull out that old nail brush. Also, you have the top of that suede conditioner that you can use to really brush the suede. I usually try to go in the opposite direction that it lays, and then in the direction that the suede lays in. But very important to brush that suede really, really well to get the dirt out of there. And then check the can, but you really only should weatherproof your suede once a year. Don't try to do it every season. It'll be too much. So you want to, again, spray the shoe really well and then give it a good brushing. This one is the cleaner. Yeah, this one is the cleaner. But then you know I showed you earlier that I have the suede and fabric water repellent. So once you spray them to clean them, you let them dry for a full day. Then you do the water repellent and leave that for a full day. Granted, they probably have directions on the containers, but just to be on the safe side, give it a few days if you're going to be conditioning your suede. It's the same thing with any other suede that you have in your collection, whether it be a jacket, whether it be a hat, anything like that. You want to make sure that you're giving it a few days. If you're doing suede, that's the most difficult, I think, out of all the shoe fabrics to work with. But if you've got the right items to clean them, maintain them, they'll last you forever. I'm trying to give you guys as many examples as possible, but here is a faux suede shoe. This I purchased from Amazon. Aren't they gorgeous? Love these shoes. But again, if you want to double check to make sure that the waterproofing is going to work, if you can see the inside of the heel on this shoe has the suede there. So that's where I would test it if I were going to waterproof these shoes. As you can see, it has all the stuffing inside of the shoe, just the way that it came. It came with this little block guy, and it came with this little thing. So like I tell you, I maintain my shoes by keeping the stuffing that comes with it. And even though they were not expensive and they were from Amazon, I bet you I could have these shoes for another 20 years. And yes, I plan on wearing heels into my 70s. That's the goal. So as I am packing my first box of shoes, I realized like the hunter boots, they're standing up, and it's the perfect place to stuff all of my scarves. I have a huge scarf collection. Let me show you. These are all my scarves. There's like a ton of scarves in here, and it will be perfect for me to just roll them up and stuff them down into the boots. And since I have to pack them anyway, it will work out perfectly to just pack all the scarves inside of the boots. Great plan. I can be smart sometimes. But most of these are like silk scarves and light cotton scarves and things like that that I'm not going to be using again until spring, summer of next year. All my winter hats and scarves and stuff like that, mittens, gloves, all that is back in the States already. So I just wanted to jump in and say that if you are packing and things like that, think of stuffing your shoes and things like that with other things. You can stuff them with socks, stuff them with underwear, stuff them with, you know, other things that you're going to be packing when you move. So like t-shirts or like I said, underwear, socks, and scarves, which is what I'm going to be doing today. I tell you, I collect lots of things. Scarves, hats, gloves. Oh, speaking of which, I've got gloves also. Those are going to, if I have enough room, I can stuff some of my gloves in there. Yeah, huge scarf collection. All right, let me get the stuff in these, and if I still have room, I'll bring out the gloves and stuff some of those in there as well. So after I packed all the scarves down into the boots, there's still a little bit of room left. So I do have a collection of gloves that I brought with me to Belize. Most of these are like opera gloves and things like that. Again, I brought a lot of this stuff just for content purposes. Here's the other container where I've got, you know, like lace gloves and white gloves and more spring vibe type gloves. Most of these gloves I got 1,000 years ago at an auction. They're all vintage gloves when I used to work at the auction gallery. Love these, but these are just some of my favorite. These with the purple, aren't they gorgeous? And then look at these, like soft pink pair with the scallop edge. Oh, love these sort of opera gloves with the ruching on top. I've got a lot of gloves. Here's like a ton of just plain white gloves. Here's a pair of leather gloves with Swarovski crystals on them. These are all vintage, so love my little vintage glove collection. I've had it a long time, like at least 15 years I've had these gloves. The last thing you want to remember when you are doing the packing is to pack your shoe kit, your shoe repair kit, leave them in the plastic containers. That way, if something spills, it will not ruin your shoes. Just another important tip from me to you. And that's gonna do it for today, you guys. I have a huge mess to clean up and a lot of shoes to prep before I get them packed and ready for shipping. So that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the day. Now, I hope this video was helpful for you guys in order to maintain your shoes so that you can keep them as long as I have. There are some shoes in my collection I have had for over 30 years. And the reason is because every single season, I pull them all out, I check them, see if they need to go to the cobbler, see if they need any polishing, see if they need any leather conditioning, and I do that every single summer and winter, well, right before those seasons come. I also hope that this video helped you to start your own shoe repair kit. These are things that you should have if you are going to maintain your shoes for an extended period of time. I have shoes that are like $15 shoes that I've had for 20 years. And that's just because, one, I have a lot of shoes, but also because I take the time to repair them. If they're beyond, if they're too far gone, then yes, I will get rid of them and get a new pair of shoes. But trust me, it takes a lot for me to get rid of a pair of shoes because I take care of them so well. Also, any other leather pieces that you have in your collection, you want to make sure that you are maintaining your leathers at least once a year. Take them out, make sure you're conditioning them. All your bags, another thing, handbags. And I think that's gonna do it, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I have many more of these videos coming up because I still have a lot more to pack in my apartment. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when those videos go up. I apologize for this being such a long video. It's been so long since I've been on camera that I was just having a ton of fun recording this video. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. And until next time, stay fashionable. Bye.